all of the students.
Okay.
And they will submit their files to one of the 3 machines.
Okay.
So we have this hard drive, which stores all the files.
The 2 computers with the Cintiq screens are not on like the domain. So they have access to the internet, but they're not integrated into the university.
We're wondering, it's like which direction
So there's no university. So we have, which might be.
So once we have a file, say there's a file on here, we'll drag it over to the corresponding folder on our hard drive.
Okay.
And we'll put it in the to print folder.
And is this what a student would do, or this is what you guys would do?
This is what I would do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the student would do is put their file in this file submission folder
Okay.
for the 3D printing process they want. So I have a file in our to print folder. So now I'm just going to close out. And I'm going to double check and make sure the file's fixable. Once I'm done that, I'm going to take it over to the machine.
Well, those 2 are our custom workstations, if you want to think of it that way. So.
And which machine is this? Do you have a name for this?
This is the Objet.
Okay.
It does photopolymer parts.
Just like the standard work.
Okay. Thank you.
Experimental software, you know, that we have purchased or we're testing. We run our main box.
So now we'll open up the file in our software. The corresponding folder. So there's the part, and I'm just going to prepare it to print.
This is a building built around another building. So there's like 2 completely different logics to the space.
So before we send the file to print, we log each file's information. So I logged this one out, but it'll be the student's name and their section, the printing process, and the file name.
Okay.
So we have all of these on Google Docs. Just load it in. We'll also record the model, the material used, the build material, and the support material. And we can find those numbers in the process file.
Okay.
So I can click on it and I'll see, alright,
2 or 3.
it's going to use 49 grams of support and 61 grams of the model.
And are those just estimates, or are those actual true numbers? Like
They're
pretty accurate.
pretty accurate.
Okay. Okay.
So I've already loaded those. What we also do, so we do this part before we even have the file printed.
Okay. Right.
So we have a log of all of these files and our.
And would these be like different students, maybe files that are in a queue, basically?
Exactly,
Okay.
and that's why I need a queue.
Okay.
So once we have enough files in a queue to print, we'll start a build. Let's say this is the build we're going to do. We take this information and we will load it into our build charts. Pretty much same layout. We'll have our build name, the date that we're running it, which is the date that we plan on.
Right.
Support as well, the build, the material we're using because we switch between materials, how many models we're printing, and how long it's going to take. So I'm going to find out the estimates for all these right now.
Okay.
So estimate consumptions. Okay, so we have model 61, support 49.
Yeah, we kind of simulated that a little bit with just a Dropbox account that we have on certain computers.
Vera
You know,
Blue,
we can't put them on the
one model.
here's in the domain because Dropbox
It's going to take about 3 hours and 28 minutes.
But yeah, most of the computers like around the perimeter and like a few over
So now I'm going to save the file
so we can toss files.
in our archive.
And that's an advantage of those computers.
That's great. And we're first going to make a new folder for each build. So this build will be today's date since we're planning on printing it today.
Yeah.
And in that folder, I'm going to just label the file name as today's date as well. Okay, so we just saved our build into the file. Now I'm going to load the actual files into that same folder.
It varies. So, like this computer here is directly connected to the Objet system, and there's actually an embedded computer also in the Objet. And that keyboard and mouse you can switch between the two using that.
And for all the files that we have printed, we also make a copy and put them in our printed folder.
Okay.
Just in case there's an issue with a student's file or they say it printed, it didn't print, and we actually did print it.
Right.
Okay, so our file's ready.
But same.
So now we can go ahead and build. Where's that?
Yeah, so the software that generates the actual instructions for this to run is located on that computer. It generates
So the build tray.
file format that we just plug into the machine, which that's a USB one.
Import.
It takes about 10 minutes for a 35 megabyte file to be transferred.
Okay, so we're just trying to get this equation down on this big problem. So the solid state uses USB 1 to collect the data. I mean, as you said.
Hold on.
And this is connected to
Here we
the
go.
computer.
So now whenever we're ready to
So
print,
there's an embedded
we can
computer
just
inside this machine.
build the tray and then it'll start.
All that
Okay.
does is
So we pretty much go through this process for all the files. Once we get them in, it's a process of just sorting them to, well, first checking to make sure they're printable, and once they are, we load them into
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that's not even like we're
our
not
file tracking.
that step.
And all these files in here,
That workaround.
they'll be loaded into our to prints folder. So they're in the queue to prints.
Okay.
So it's just a mishmash between different folders.
And this is all come. They all live on the hard drive, correct?
That's
Is that-
right.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Great.
How is it?